All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to December 21st morning coffee review. How are you doing today, Michael?
Doing great. We are excited to share with everyone not everyone, a special winner, a Christmas gift for completing a gingerbread something. We'll let Jason explain that a little bit more in depth. And it's nice and cool out here in Arizona. So we're excited. It's almost Christmas. And what else, Jason?
Well, the weatherman said we were going to get about 1 to 3 inches of snow, but it's looking about 5 right now, and it's still coming down a little bit. So my white Christmas is guaranteed, and I'm pretty excited about that. But today we're going to have some fun on Morning Coffee Review like we like to do. You remember back for Thanksgiving, we did a little turkey drawing contest and gave away an AeroPress, which is my favorite coffee maker. And today we're going to give away a French press, which is Michael's favorite coffee maker, with an asterisk on there.
Yes.
So you want to admit what happened when I was in Phoenix?
Yeah. So Jason, if you all listened in, was here in the great state of Arizona last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to use the AeroPress, and I do like it. It is great for a 1 cup, but it's a lot of work for the 1 cup. But it's a great 1 cup, but it's 1 cup. So I do like it. If I'm traveling, I'm definitely going to use that. French press, though, if I'm looking for maybe 2, 3 is my go-to. But sometimes I am just, drinking 1 cup a day of coffee, and that's the way to go. When I was in the office in person, we needed a little bit more. So I was making 2 or 3, but they are definitely a great purchase. And to the lucky winner that won it last time, love to hear if you liked it as well, if you're in here. But
I don't see her today. But yeah, we're going to be giving away a coffee maker. But before we get to that part, last week on our show, we had a question about tile and hatch patterns and doing those area measurements. And we started talking about tile, which led to hatch patterns, which made us think, we got a couple of minutes today. Let's talk about making custom hatch patterns. There's a trick to this. Custom hatch patterns will be required for our little gingerbread thing. So if you want to start it off, you want me to start it off, you're already sharing your screen. Let's make a couple custom hatch patterns. And then what we're going to do is we'll start working on making a couple hatch patterns. And then we're going to set up a studio session. So for those who want to compete today, make sure that you are logged into your Bluebeam Studio with your Bluebeam ID. And then we're going to be creating a session. And instead of having that pre-baked, we're going to go through the process of setting up that studio session, right? So today's going to be a recap on custom hatch patterns and creating a studio session. And then we're going to leave it open, let you all join in, those of you who are watching live on YouTube, as well as those here on Zoom. We're going to be able to jump in and start working on a gingerbread something. So I'm going to talk about the rules now while we're talking about hatch patterns. We're going to be making a gingerbread something, whether that be a house or a person or whatever gingerbread creation. All right. So brown should be a hefty theme. That's safe to say. It has to use a custom hatch pattern. And we're going to be going through 3 different categories. Best use of a hatch pattern, best creativity, and just overall fun theme. So DJ CJ, myself, and Michael will be having a little vote. And then today we're going to notify the winner of this fancy little French press we've got going on here. And of course, along the way, there's going to be some questions. And I see one rolling in from Marvin already. So let's walk through the hatch pattern, and maybe we'll answer the question real quick, and then we'll get to the contest.
All righty. So custom hatch patterns, they end in a .bax file type. I have yet to create one, so this is going to be new territory for me.
Ooh.
But I'm hoping, my wish is it's like the line style. So we will go in, I'm going to hit add. It's going to say new location. So where is it?
Back up and see where you got that first. Hang on. So people can follow along, because this is going to be required for the contest.
So if I'm selecting something that has a fill, essentially. So I made a rectangle, And then I went to the dynamic options bar when I selected the rectangle because it's entering the command. Then I can go into hatch, manage. Then I'm entering in my managing of my custom hatches.
Here's where you're going to create a set of hatches. So you can have one for tile. You can have one for landscape. You can have one for whatever.
So I'm going to create a set called MCR.
What's that stand for again?
Morning coffee review.
I know.
And then, and then where's it going to save it? So default location, relative path or non-relative path. We've been over this plenty of times. If you ever do have a question about it, just message us instead of me having to always cover it. Okay. And it is. Look at this thing. Okay.
Cool.
Yes. So, you can import AutoCAD pattern too. Is
yes,
that the
you can.
PAT file? That's crazy. Okay. So from in here, I'm guessing it's wanting me to add some type of item. That's this area. And I'm guessing this is going to modify just like it was the line style.
Exactly.
So I'm going to hit add, select name of new hatch pattern.
So you're creating multiple patterns in that same set that you've created. So,
okay. Because before, when you do line styles, it's the set, then a sub name of that set, then the window populates. This is just populating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do roof.
Oh. So now you have a little toy box to play with in that bottom right-hand corner, and you have grids, and you can draw lines, and you can place points, and you can have all sorts of fun in here.
Okay. It says snap, but I don't see it snapping. Like I don't feel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it will snaps that way.
Okay.
Now you're not in the dotted sort of box you see there. Once you place something in there and you stop your line, you should see it populate in the lower left-hand side as far as a preview.
So this is going to be repeatable, I'm guessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
I see it. Yep.
So you can start doing all sorts of crazy stuff with this. And yeah, you're seeing it populate.
Okay, so I'm going to do this. Can I do, it's only a circle?
You can put dots. So if you want to put dots in the middle, it'll do it that way.
There's not an
There's
angle.
not an arc. No.
So how is this? Because I was going to do like a roof.
Like you just got to be a little careful with it.
Maybe I do this.
So question from Matt, could we save this out as a PAT to use in Revit or AutoCAD? I think the trick here is to go backwards, because if you notice in the top right-hand corner, you can import that PAT file. So if you did want an arc or something more fancy, bring it in from AutoCAD or Revit instead of taking this out from here.
Revit doesn't export as a PAT file though, so.
Well, then dust off your AutoCAD chops.
Let's see. Can you export this? That's kind of where he's going,
because that's still a PHX file.
But this is and this is all of them in the context of the singular one. You can't export. So it's not like the line styles that have individual ones. Yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
Because this would be easier to create a custom hatch in here and then export it into Revit is my guess of where Matt was going.
Yeah.
But it's saved relative. So I don't know.
I
wonder what it looks like when you open it up. We'll have to go through and try and open it up and see what it looks like. But okay. Anyways, aside from that, let's not get sidetracked. I now have my hatch pattern of my roofing. Boom. Look at that.
That's not bad for a first timer. Dang. All right. So with that custom hatch pattern, you can create scales. You can do all different types of things for that. So in context, that looks like a roof to me.
Yeah. And I can even probably make this white and then boom. Check
even better
out.
All right. So everybody got that custom hatch pattern? We've already created a sort of game board for today to give everybody some real estate to draw. So if you want to start the studio session.
Okay, as I get carried away.
All right, we got about,
okay.
Let's start this right at 45. So we got 4 minutes.
So questions, how square? It is square.
There was a question from Marvin. Oh, okay. Let's answer this question from Marvin real quick. When we're talking about custom leader heads, is there a way to do the loop at the end? So a circle instead of the arrowhead?
I've never encountered that. They don't give you the option to.
There's a circle, like the dot ones are from the bottom, but there's no way to modify that I'm aware of.
There's no way to add it. It kind of reminds me of Revit, where there's like you get a certain amount. That's it. A certain shape. But that one you can like change the size and scale of it, but you can't like these are what you get kind of scenario. It's not like AutoCAD where you can create a custom one.
Yeah, good. You could use a leader or you could make a group out of them with the circle. That's a good suggestion, David, but that wouldn't work as a call out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because once the call out's placed as a group, do you get a call out? Let's see. So if I were to
make a little circle,
we'll just use this as an example, and then I group this. So what if I group? Yeah, I want that one last. I want this one last because I'm going to change the text. So group this one. But then, there's no add a leader.
It takes away the call out functionality. Yeah.
Because you can change the text by the properties of it, right? Example.
But not the same. Good question. So not a full circle, but a half, but a flat line. That's just not one of the options. So in that call out dynamic options bar at the top, you have the arrow, you have a dot, a filled in circle, and there's a slash, but there's not the loop thing that you're talking about.
I mean, the circle is not filled. Yeah.
It's not filled. Interesting. The icon makes me think differently. So that's close as you're going to get to a loop, honestly. Without, there might be some coding on the backside, but I don't know how that works.
I'm guessing because some folks like having it's like an S almost, you know what I'm saying?
Or it's like an actual loop. It's not a closed circle. Yeah. So interesting. Good question, Marvin. All right, let's fire up the studio session. I'm excited. I want to see what people are going to come up with.
Me too. So in order to log into Studio, if you've never logged in, it's free with any version of Review. Now, how do you get access to it? You locate it. It's a panel. It looks like a little house. And if you do not see it on your panel access bar, you can say, or type in, Alt-C. It'll populate that window open. And then you can come into here and get access to Studio projects and sessions. Now, if you don't have the ability to sign in, it'll ask you to create a login ID. So create a login ID. Should I show everybody? Here, I'll do it. I just don't like signing out. But now you don't have to sign back in anymore because Review will populate open as a sign in. So when you're in here, you'll click the panel open. You'll have this panel item. Now you get to sign in. You get to pick your server, by the way. So signing in. Now, if you do not have an account, you create an account, go through. I always recommend don't use an alias for your Bluebeam display name because this is what's going to be displaying whenever you make markups. Should be professional. It doesn't automatically populate what your preference name is in Review, which is usually your default windows. So let me log in here.
We're going to need to know what your name is in case you win this thing and we need to contact you. Just saying. But so that latest update of Review 20.2.6 was supposed to keep you in Studio when you logged in. I've had it kick me out a few times.
I haven't.
I noticed that, but maybe that's just traveling and connecting between different servers and stuff. Between Arizona and the client sides and stuff. So maybe it's detecting my everyday network connection.
Yeah. And for those folks that don't have maintenance and it kicks you out every time, that is a reason to get maintenance. Would you agree, Jason?
Absolutely.
Because this was an update, and you don't get updates or feature updates unless you have active maintenance, because they haven't done a new release yet. So a new release would be like, okay, we'll just pay for the newest version of review. But there's no need to do that when you're on maintenance. That's one great reason to have maintenance as well. So they took away the little checkbox here. So it's not even a remember me. It just remembers you. So signing in, that way I don't ever have to do this again unless I'm teaching. Then you have two different icons. You have projects, and then you have sessions. So I'm going to log into the sessions one right here. So it looks more like a whiteboard. And then I am going to make a new one. Okay, so let me explain this 1 second here. Okay, so for a new edition of sessions, if you want to create a new one, you're going to select the icon. You're going to hit the plus button. So this is adding or joining one, or if maybe you haven't joined one, which I never joined one that Jason invited me to, I'm going to hit new session. Now I am going to create the session name from here as well. So if we go through, this one's going to be MCR Christmas edition, maybe Christmas.
Or, yeah, that's good enough. Christmas or gingerbread or something.
Christmas edition. So I need to add files. You can always come back and add files if you want to. Now, to add files later on, it's super easy, but I already know where my file is, so I'm actually going to add it. I'm going to go to my desktop. I have the MCR Gingerbread PDF that Jason shared with me. I'm going to hit open, and now this is the path of where it's default saved. You can't update it. It's just pulling it from there, and it's adding to a studio AWS server. So it is a direct copy. It's not a dynamic copy to wherever it was saved originally, unless it comes from a studio project, which you can push and pull from a studio project to a session and back to a studio project. So be aware of that. If you want some more info on that, you have a survey at the end, or go and watch one of our older videos that talks about that. Okay, so down in here, you have options. What are the permissions for everyone else that joins? They can save as, I guess that's fine. They could print if they want. Actually, I don't want people wasting paper. They can mark up. Yes. Can they mark up alert? That's fine. Can they add documents? No. Am I going to restrict attendees by email? Nope. I want everyone to be able to join by the ID, which we'll see here in a second. But I do want it to expire. How long are we giving folks to continue after the MCR?
This is going to end 5 o'clock today. So 5 o'clock your time would be AZ time. So yep. 6 o'clock PM Central is when this stops. So if you
7 PM for even later,
actually
folks.
No, we did this last time. Remember? Do we want to give people all day to work on their masterpiece, or should we just limit them to what we have left in our session here? Pencils down type of thing.
Let's do. We did 12 a.m. 12 p.m. last time.
So noon.
Noon.
Okay. There we go.
My time.
That's fair. That's fair. And we'll be checking on things. Well, we have there's a date stamp. So we'll be able to see how long people spent. Don't go nuts here, but also go nuts here. You know what I mean? Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. Let's win some things and have a new presence on our doorstep here shortly.
All right.
So I'm going to hit okay. Everyone will be able to access it by the ID, which I'll also put in the chat. So, or Jason will put in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I will quickly show people how to invite other folks. So I am going to invite Jason Artley via, you can join. I'll just show you. So you can, I don't want to show everyone my email addresses and stuff, but you can use your address book, which would take you to Outlook. You could also type in emails. This is a new addition, by the way. This is a feature update where it used to be a smaller, clunkier window. Now it's an updated window where you can copy paste mass amounts of emails. And when you have those, you can also add a message. So if you wanted to pre-populate a message for them via versus the default one, which is, hey, so-and-so invited you to the session, please join. And then it's like at the bottom, if you don't have a license of review, you can still join, download the 30-day free trial, and then join there. But then from here, you can also add that message if you want an additional message. You can add emails from groups. Groups is a great thing in Studio because you can limit items by specific groups, such as permissions, by a specific user group. Again, this is great to organize by groups if you wanted to. I have groups that I go through and do for my demos. If you want more explanation, we can do a whole. Well, we are going to do like a comparison. I guess we could do that next time. So next week, we're going to be doing what you can't do in a studio session. So we'll probably talk about all this again. But okay, so we'll skip that then because we know all of that's going to be happening. Now, let me go again. You can start joining.
Invite me. Do I get I'll just use the number.
Just use a number. Can you type in the number, though, into the chat after you type it into your thing, copy and paste?
Got it.
So we are going to open up this PDF here, and we are going to see this lovely PDF that Mr. Jason Artley created for the gingerbread house. Now, he wanted me to talk about some tips when we're going through and creating them. So first, we talked about hatch patterns, because hatch patterns are going to be key for some of the items that we're going to be utilizing in here. What else is key, do you think, Jason, to help us construct a gingerbread cookie type thing, or a house, or gingerbread related is kind of what you said, if I'm correct, right?
Gingerbread related. Okay, so we see a square popping up there. So how this is going to work, grab a square. There's multiple pages here. So go ahead and pick a page, grab a rectangle, and you have that as your limits. Do not leave the limits of that rectangle, but make something gingerbread themed. Now, if I were competing in here, I'm probably going to draw a house, and that requires straight lines. How do we draw straight lines in Review? Well, we can hold down Shift to constrain our line, but to make life easier, there's also a grid function. So if you go up to View and you change your view to Show Grid, so Shift F9, and then there's also a Snap to Grid function. Right. So if you do this, it's going to make drawing straight lines a little easier. So there's a little pro tip there. That will not affect what you see in your session. Right. So I've got my review open. I don't see the grid that we see in the MCR presentation. Right. So
someone already took that one.
Nice. Good. Get in there and stake your claim. Now's the time. Clock is ticking. We are live. So if you would like to participate, draw something gingerbread related, whether it be a house or a person, or what else can you make out of gingerbread? Anything really, I suppose.
I was going to go with a cookie, but then you said a house. So.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be left out. I want a piece of this too. So I'm going to go ahead and jump
this.
I'm going to hurry up and stake.
I really need ISO for this.
What would you do if you needed ISO?
I can't insert though an ISO paper in a session, so we're kind of limited there. But
so if you didn't know what Michael's talking about, when you create a brand new PDF, so by going to File, New, there is an option to make an ISO grid, which is actually kind of neat for sketching, but you can get away with that if just by using a square grid too, if you're clever.
It would have to be in between this next dot, right? Because it's going to snap. So I guess I'll just make it look further away at the back end. It's like a perspective view almost, but okay.
Yeah, I feel all like super. This is tough because we've got an actual architect playing along with us right now. So Matt Lynn, I see you out there. Matt Lynn is part of our MCR bench and all around wonderful person.
And congrats, he is now a Bluebeam certified support representative.
Holy cow. So exactly. Matt's been on the Bluebeam journey with us and participated in some of these MCRs. And the fact that he's an architect drawing a house, that's no big deal. Don't feel intimidated, because I'm totally intimidated. That's fine. So happy to have you on here, but we will totally take your professional experience into account when judging this. So fair warning. Don't try to get too crazy with us.
Yeah, fair warning.
Yeah, I know you were inside of a Frank Lloyd Wright building last week, weren't you?
Hey, someone took my hatch. Oh no.
Oh, your hatch? Oh, just see that's all fair game. I'm looking at the window and all this beautiful snow's falling. I'm so in the Christmas spirit this year. I don't know about you guys out there.
So how would I do? Oh, I just have to do a polygon and then fill it.
Whoa, this is tough. I feel for you guys trying to do this.
Check this out. What's up? Oh, not
Right.
at the right angle.
I'm gonna have to go back and see where you're at. Ooh, okay, I see where you're going. I'm going back to mine. I'm having fun now. Oh, joy. So I need to work on a hatch pattern too. Clever.
I see who's this up here?
How are we going to do a hatch pattern with the isometric? Ooh, I know what tool to use.
ADG Hunt. So whoever you are,
that looks like
a way better perspective of how I was thinking of something like this. Gonna have some trees.
Oh, trees. That's a good.
Oh, look at that, and the rectangle. You're smart.
This is well played so far. We got a good little showdown going here. So looks like we got 8 folks in here so far. Keep going. Let's see what you got. You can still join in, and that works for the folks there on YouTube as well.
Please on YouTube join in. Have fun. Learn some new cool things that you haven't, because you are going outside the usual realm of what you do currently, and hopefully something fruitful comes out of this. And that's the whole purpose of this.
Absolutely.
And to win a prize.
Yeah. And like, this is not something, well, I mean, it'd be pretty cool if it was something that you do every day for work. But, we work with a lot of firms that do push Bluebeam review to the limits and do some really exciting stuff. And sometimes just messing around like with this is a good way to, see what you can do and spark that creative thing that Michael was alluding to. Because all this stuff, I mean, yeah, we're drawing gingerbread things. It's still fun, or it's still work related.
If you're watching this on my screen, it looks like he's created a markup that's rectangle. That is a repetitive recent markup, so he doesn't have to go through and redraw it, and he's stretching it. Smart.
See, I'm forgetting a setting that always messes me up when I'm trying to use dynamic fill. Where dynamic fill hides all my stuff, all my other markups. Where is that? That's under interface.
I don't recall.
Grid snap.
Let's see. So if you ever want to watch somebody or follow somebody, you can hover over their name. You can right click and follow the attendee. So let's see what Mr. Matt is doing. I think he's trying to figure out some markups. If you want to use the ISO paper, can you cut from a separate screen and paste it? You could try. I've never tried that. But I think the ISO is like a screen. So I could try it. I'm going to stop following Matt. I'll go file, new PDF. And we'll just do custom, isometric, hit OK. Let me zoom out. Let me do a snapshot here and try and paste it. Oops, nope. You can. So you can copy and paste it from one page to the next. So if you want to, you can go file, new, ISO, and copy and paste it to a new page. But be aware you're stretching it. So you probably want to try to cut the same square. What I would do is probably cut the square from this, go over to here, paste it, and get the right size so that it's a full sheet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very tricky. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. I'll admit. It's not snappable though. Interesting. Interesting. You know what's going to be fun is one of these days we're going to do a drawing contest and we're going to make DJ CJ do it. I bet she's got Bluebeam chops that would probably blow us away, and she's just hiding it.
Yep, I think so too. It's not snappable, correct? Because now when you snapshot it, it's an image. So you can just guess to the corners there.
True.
Let me go back. I apologize.
Terrible. I should have practiced. Oh, but I do. Oh, can I cheat? I'm totally going to cheat.
So I'm not eligible. How
so
you had the fill. Oh, so this is just a markup on top of another markup is my guess.
I'm cheating because I'm not eligible, so might as well cheat.
Whoa. Oh, this is you, isn't this? You cheater. I was like,
totally. So a couple of years ago, Bluebeam sent out a
I think you shared it last week, didn't you?
The Winter Wonderland. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, what did they make it for if not to have fun with, right?
I couldn't.
It's a green hat.
Only agree more.
If you wanted someone's hatch, can you copy it? That's a good question because I think, well, not in a session because you can't select their stuff. If it was live, you could select it and then it would. You can?
Yep. So if you select it, you can copy it and paste it.
No way.
But we will take that into account if you are using the exact same type of item.
Yeah. So that's a good
use
point.
It lightly because you don't want to do this, which is
I need 12 more screens.
I am done. Right. Go to the front page.
Oh. Look, we got like popcorn coming out of the chimney.
Yeah, but look at my square.
Mm.
So you don't want to do that. Who copied who? You'll see. I'll see the markups, whoever made them first.
That's true. Yep. There is a way to figure that out.
We have timestamps here, and we also have markups over here on the left.
Oh, that's interesting. Look at the markups list. Notice my name is in there twice because somewhere I changed my preferences. So the Jay Artley and the Jason Artley are different. I was showing how to change that the other day.
Oh, okay. We should have flattened it then. That's fine.
Should have flattened it. That's true. Nothing like, throwing something together at the last minute. No big deal. All right. So we're rolling along here, seeing some of these gingerbread creations. Ooh, someone getting tricky with a gable style roof. Is that the proper term?
I want to know where Matt's going with this.
Yeah, it's not easy. Not easy. I thought it would be. Okay, tool sets.
I mean, you just need to add some more hatches. So you could add some brick here. As you're going through and looking. So someone's trying to make was that me? Oops, sorry. Someone started here, but left. Maybe someone came into their office.
Control Z is my friend.
So let's go back to the front. I wonder what Matt is doing. He may have had to answer a Zoom call, maybe. Maybe he's practicing on his own piece of paper now.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's doing. He's holding a straight edge up to the screen and overanalyzing it.
Look at these sills. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, so much fun. Maybe this is very difficult.
It is.
We should have tested this ourselves. That's all right. That's what we do here.
Yeah, and I think again the challenge here is to challenge yourself and see what you can do in review, and hopefully pick up some new tips along the way on things you are learning in review. They need to change this. I think they did this thing here, so it didn't go through. Doesn't help when you're lagging.
You're lagging
either. Yeah. I mean, so if you are, Doug, maybe disconnect.
Oh, he's up in Canada land. I think there's probably just maple syrup in the system.
So if you disconnect maybe and just wait.
Yeah.
You know, I used to not like maple syrup, by the way, but I love it now.
Okay. So you know how we love to go down rabbit holes here on Morning Coffee Review. Do you have a Costco membership?
I do. Do you have the bourbon maple syrup?
The bourbon barrel maple syrup is what's up. Oh my goodness.
That's really good to mix. So instead of using simple syrup in your old fashions, if you make it with that
I did that last night. You told me about that. And last night I tried it. I was like, I feel like making an old fashioned. Because the one I had in Phoenix did not hit the spot. Like you can really screw up an old fashioned, and I didn't realize that. And they did. So I made my own last night, and I was quite happy. You still haven't that orange trick I haven't tried yet because I don't
lighting the orange on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Not on fire. You just like hold the lighter to it.
Yeah. An old fashioned is a bourbon based cocktail.
Yeah, you can use bourbon, you can use whiskey, and then usually it's simple syrup and bitters.
Mm-hmm.
But I instead of using simple syrup because of all of the stuff that's in it, I use maple syrup. And there's one at Costco that is for those folks from the States. There's one at Costco that is a bourbon infused maple syrup. It's non-alcoholic, but it's great because it's barrel in terms of the flavor from it. And then you can use an orange, but when usually you twist the orange to get the zest out, or like the oils. It's really the oils. If you light it on fire, so you don't light it on fire. You just hold the lighter around. It's essentially releasing more oils too. So then put that in your drink when you're done, and then the cherry. And there's certain cherries, by the way, they're not just regular.
The Luxardo cherries are
when you see them put in that like pink, like the cherry that you get in I used to get those
like a Shirley Temple.
Yeah, like a Shirley Temple cherry.
Yeah. That's the fake.
That's when you know you're like, oh, it's not gonna taste that great.
Luxardo cherries are like $17 a jar, and you're like, what? But then you try them, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, they're worth it.
Yeah.
You're not.
Is it too early to be talking about alcohol at work? Sorry, not really.
Well, we were talking about that. You had it last night, so
that's fair.
Also, can you scale a hatch on an individual shape basis? So we haven't tried that. That would be maybe a scalable markup. So you can, in the tool set, go through and set a scale to your tool sets. So be aware of that. Feel free to give it a try and see if the scale of the hatch changes at all.
You got a comment. Yes, you can do it on an object.
There you go.
This is tough. So what I'm trying right now, and you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to modify a hatch pattern I've already placed because I want to see if it will dynamically update.
Oh, so Matt went and decided to draw. I mean, that's what he did last time, and his was really good.
Getting all sketchy.
Yep. So remember, you can use the pen feature, and this is great.
This is, should I go get my Surface and my little Surface pen and totally cheat then? Actually, I don't know how well I could draw anymore. It's been a while.
You know, I think what we're missing a lot of, in my opinion, is lights.
Ooh, yeah, I'm with you.
Right? Like if I wanted to, I would probably go through and create like some type of light group, maybe. I need to turn the snap to grid off.
I won't do it. Yeah, Christmas lights would be good. Now, I do have the Winter Wonderland tools with the bulbs, and I'm not going to use them. That's cheating. But I'm already cheating, so what's the point? Might as well just do it, right? Oh, those are massive. They're very, very tricky to do. But I'll put some on my page if you want to like steal the idea, I suppose.
So
as far as like how they were created. See, we need oh, she's not on here today. With the fancy shadow action from the last contest. That was impressive. So these lights that I have, they have a similar shadow thing going on.
Oh yeah, don't use those lights. I mean, you can, but those definitely don't get you brownie points.
No, they're not. I'm not liking this anymore. You could have way more fun just using what would be a good trick for this? Maybe just a little cloud? I don't know. I'm curious.
So there's my markup, and I can turn it into markup mode, and now I can place it. I'm just going to use mats as an example. Don't worry about it. I'll delete them. But you can go like this, right? And then you can use this. By the way, learned a new thing. If you hold control, oh no, wait. I think it's Alt.
Always Alt, Shift, or Control. One of the three will work.
Alt. You can pick your 3 points for your arc.
What?
Yes.
Get out of town.
Boom. Boom.
Oh, that's just voodoo magic. I'm going to go try this myself. How did you figure that one
out? From an electrical firm, because they need to place them. So instead of just endpoint, start point, if you hold Alt, when you're using the arc command, it gives you 3 points of placement.
Sick. Anybody else know that one?
So there you go. That could be like, I'll delete a map. I'm sorry.
That's fun.
But I'll place them over here if anyone wants to use my little light bulb and my green arc.
Yeah, that's a trick I didn't know existed. So very cool. See, that's what we do here.
New for me.
We like to learn. So I have a confession to make. I've made it pretty far in the season without watching a Christmas movie. I feel kind of guilty because usually around here it's at least 1 or 2 a week. But we've been so busy and traveling and stuff that I haven't had a chance to. And I feel like a little Will Ferrell sort of. I got to have some Elf real soon, even though I've seen it 115 times.
Yeah, we watched Elf the other night, but we also watched, because that was when we were at the company holiday party. I was talking with Beth, and she was, because I was like, I can't find on Netflix or HBO Home Alone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we ended up watching Home Alone 1 and 2 one night.
Okay, related question for those in the chat. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Because I think there's an argument to be made there.
Does anyone remember the one with Adam Sandler and him trying to get that action figure? Which one's that called?
Oh, Adam Sandler. I remember.
No, not Adam Sandler. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Yeah. Jingle All the Way. There we go.
That's what I need to rewatch.
Yeah, my oldest son, that was one of his favorites.
Saw that last week.
Yeah, that was a good one. I need to revisit that one.
Only if Rocky's at Thanksgiving. Okay.
That's a bit okay. I
Ooh,
like where you're
look
going
at
there, David.
this. You got some frost on the.
Oh, just going all out. Really wants that coffee maker, huh?
Ooh, someone has some lights. Oh, that's you. You cheated.
No, I'm making the custom ones.
Okay. They even added a little oval and some. This must be copy. Let me paste it. So I'll show you what they did. If you select one that is grouped, you can ungroup it and you can see what they did. And they spent a lot of time. So just be aware, next time we have an addition and we post about it, you have some prep time. So you can think about things that you would want to create.
True.
But yeah, these are all individual items.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go explore and see what everybody else is up to because I'm falling in my own little world. Oh, that is cool. Okay, I like it.
That tree is pretty good right here. That's smart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you know what? Since we can steal markups, I'm gonna go populate mine with some more stealable items. How about that?
Well, if you're gonna copy, just copy for the maybe hatch or something.
Oh, but trees are different. You got to add a little pizzazz on the side.
I'm pretty sure that's from the architecture.
These are all available on the Bluebeam website.
Yeah.
So again, that whole prep time thing, it's a thing. I should have done it.
I could just imagine click by click you're having to do right now, Matt, for all of this. And he's probably doing a draw order. So for those folks that are wondering, how do you overwrite? Yep. Like this, there's a draw order. So you can select an item and say front and back.
Clever.
Let me.
You want to show how I'm changing colors of trees?
Yes. So when you when you select an item that is grouped or singular, you can change the colors, and you can do that in the markup or the tool chest as well. So let me just steal this one here, copy and paste and delete. So you can, when it's placed or when it's in the tool set, you can also right click and say change colors. And it's like this snapshot tool where you're saying source color, and it's going to give you what is the source color in that specific markup, like selection. And then you can say, what do you want it to be? Like red. And then now you have a red one. So we could transpose this like this on Jason's. So it looks like it's Christmas.
Yay. That's pretty cool. I'm okay with it. This is really not very festive. I should have done a group.
I think you just need some hatches on these walls, please.
I know. I'm getting there. Don't you worry. The problem is the dynamic fill doesn't work with these markups. So I would need to do some other things. Use my polygon, I suppose, to hatch them. That's where the grid and the markups get all messed up. That's okay.
Really like the different types of windows we have going on here, but I really like this roof hatch pattern. This is definitely gingerbread style right here. I'm guessing these are some trees out in the distance. These are probably gumdrops that you would put on your gingerbread house. Then some trees, some nice windows. We got some frost up here with a red door. Ironically enough, my house has a red door with the sill here and the STL bars. Love it. This one looked like it was started. Ooh, I do like that fill that you had to do. These are typically the style of homes I'd see with when there's like a lot of snowpack.
Anybody go all out with their house for the holidays and like just light it up? I've always wanted to do that. I just don't want to store it all year.
Yeah, I got Christmas lights and then we didn't even put those up outside, but we did decorate our tree. We got a live tree. Let's see.
Speaking of live trees, I heard that there was a farm somewhere that would they would take your tree and you would rent a live tree. And so like every year they would come and uproot it. You could have it for the Christmas season, and then they go plant it back when you're done with it. And then after the 7 years or whatever, they go plant it in the forest. Like that sounds pretty cool. It also sounds very expensive.
Because you used a poly line, Matt.
Oh, did you add a polyline?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing wrong here too. Clever. This can be hard.
Yeah, so you're supposed to that's so you can rent them and then so it's conserving, I guess, right?
Yeah. Like that.
We usually do a fake tree, but ever since we got a fake tree and we had our new kittens, the tree tips over, the ornaments come off. We got a live tree this year and there's none of that nonsense. Like they try, but it's not, we don't have anything probably about halfway down, but they can't tip over the tree this time like they could with the artificial tree.
So you think.
My goal is though to take a clipping, which I already did at the beginning of getting the tree. Usually you have to do it right when it's cut and try to propagate off of that. So that's just the plant person in me and keeping things alive. I actually have a Nordic I forget the name. Oh, I can't believe I forgot the name. Tree. It looks like a Christmas tree in my backyard under my porch.
I got a little warning sign here. I've never seen that before. Pending upload. Okay. So I was trying to do Control Z. I made a mistake, and then I guess my network connection is lagging behind, so it's not working. Clever.
Doug's still working offline, so I'm wondering where his are gonna. Oh, this is Doug's, so I'm guessing, right? Is this Doug's? Let's see.
I just got to finish my other roof part.
Nope, that's not Doug's. I wonder what square Doug's in.
I suppose I should have put a little name block on there so you could add a name to it. That's okay.
Ooh. I think you did fine.
I wish there was a hat rotation.
So this is taking those existing ones, but you're modifying them. So I do think that this is perfect.
This is tricky. I like this. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. No doubt. What do you guys think?
Well, everyone made a house because you said ginger related.
Yeah.
So there was a caveat there.
True. You could have made a really nice gingerbread person.
And Matt, I think a quicker way versus doing all these jagged lines may have been a revision cloud.
Ooh.
And point by point by point and enter. And there you go around your home. And there's some snow.
Did you mean a Norfolk Island pine?
Yes.
Bob's
Thank
asking.
you, Bob. That's what I have.
A Norfolk.
It's in a pot though.
Huh.
When it gets in the summer, I'm probably going to move it inside. I have an actual pine tree in my backyard, but it's like a 40-year-old pine tree.
And it lived that long in Arizona?
My pine tree, my actual pine tree, not the Norfolk pine.
Okay.
That one's new and it looks like this. I have a, typical Arizona pine tree. So this one is what I have here. Yeah, and it looks like this almost.
Oh, okay. Cool. Those are neat. Yeah, one of these days we're gonna have to go tree shopping. I'm getting a little jealous of your landscape chops. So maybe I'll add some stuff to my place because I need to rip out a couple bushes because the bunnies we've got just wild rabbits. They're destroying these beautiful plants I have on the side of my house, and it's like, well, I suppose they need to eat too.
I don't disagree. Let me go here, white, and we'll do this because this is what you could have done. Bam.
Ooh, yeah. But then, oh, hang on, I'm gonna go steal that and do it online.
And by the way, when you use this revision cloud, if you wanted to add more, you vertices so you can extend because you're like, oh, it didn't make it all the way over to here, right? This point to this point. You can always right click in your revision clouds and add a control point. Then you can extend it down. So there's always that availability as well. If you wanted to.
Yeah, that's clever.
And revision clouds give you a more solid endpoint because there's some like this one for the hatch. They don't. So if I went and switch this to, let's say this one, it gives you a better breakup of the hatch than like your polygon. It gives it like a square. It's super weird. I think it's because it's like a point to point how they do the vertices for those, but here it's actually going to follow it with the revision clouds. And by the way, even with the revision cloud command, if you wanted to, you could create a random line type command too. So if you wanted to make this jagged line, you could have made a jagged line repeatable. Or I guess they have zigzag. There we go. It could be zigzag.
They touch to the edge, and if you're not touching the box on any of these tweaks, that is a judging criteria point.
So your mic sounds space. There you go. Your mic came back. Sounded a little weird. What were you saying?
Use of space is a thing when it comes to judging this. Make sure you're not touching the box like I was. The outside. Your limits. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Let's see. Ooh, we got some ice. That is a nice factor right there. That's what I was looking for. That is a bonus.
Oh man, look at all those lights. Holy cow. This has been pretty fun. And look at that. We're out of time already. So
we're already here. Wow.
All right. You have until noon to finish this. So keep working. We're going to be judging accordingly. And then we'll go through and we will have DJ CJ reach out to the winner today. And then we will probably announce it on LinkedIn as well. And then, of course, next week, we're going to be talking about sessions and things like that. That's what you said earlier. So we're going to roll with sessions, hopefully.
It's sessions and limitations in studio sessions. And be aware, we don't do these types of morning coffee reviews all the time. Yes, they're back to back because holidays are back to back here. This is to help the community and kind of get you oriented and maybe try some new things. But if you're one of those folks that's just looking for tips and all of those items, which there were some tips today, because we had that last time where someone was a little frustrated that we were doing this. Just be aware, this doesn't happen all the time. This is some fun time things though. So we do look forward to more information next week about Studio. We'll go more in depth on limitations and what you cannot do in Studio, but that's not going to be the whole time. So please bring some questions. If you are new, feel free to ask any questions you want. And also, by the way, there's a survey at the end. So please leave any comments or questions you have. We will answer them. And thank you all for showing up today, and happy holidays. Anything else, Jason?
Be safe out there if you're traveling. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.